Hey, Taurus, intuitive soul coach here with your March 2024 love reading. Welcome back to my channel if you are returning, and welcome if you are new. These are general readings. Please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, Taurus, welcome. It's interesting because I'm getting here some sort of exciting adventure. Now, you could be literally planning maybe a rock climbing trip, skydiving, perhaps it's off-road biking, something of that nature, or it could be symbolic for new adventures, new excitement coming into your world, Taurus. But I do see here you getting outside in nature or planning to do that in the future, where some of you could be going on an adventure. I feel like this could be either with a loved one, it could be where you meet someone while you are out and about. I also get that it's important for you to get out of your comfort zone. If you become too stagnant or if you have become too familiar with a situation, you may be guided to switch things up a little bit here. All right. Now, starting off, you have the knotted rope, Taurus. This is all about lasting commitments. It is about longevity, stability. It does remind me of the 10 of Cups. It is emotional wealth that is here to stay, not just come and go, not inconsistency. So if you are used to inconsistency, I do feel like there's a major ending to an old lifestyle or an old belief system or an old way of doing things. Now, some of you could even be going through some changes if you are in a relationship that you've been in for quite some time. I also see here for some of you, please take it as it resonates, some of you could be interested in someone else who is either coming out of or they could still be in some sort of commitment here. Now you have the pine cone showing up, Taurus. This is a major revelation. It is a realization, some sort of truth, breakthrough moment, aha moment. Some of you could be going through a spiritual awakening, or someone that you know, right? A partner, a loved one, or the person on your mind is going through a major awakening. And I've kind of get this energy here as well. For some of you, you are the one that got away. Okay, you are the one that got away, or maybe you're looking at someone that way, but I get a feeling that someone thinks that way about you, even if you haven't been in touch with this person for, 5 years or 5 months. Maybe you haven't heard from them for a while. Maybe they went off and got married, right? I just feel like you were the one that got away, where someone still thinks about you. Now, for others of you Taurians out there, there is some sort of understanding that you are realizing in the moment that is going to offer you freedom. Okay, because I can't wait to share your outcome with you. And it is the energy of freedom, revelation, something here being set free. There's the exciting situation. Yeah, that probably was why I was picking up on something such as skydiving or rock climbing. Some of you could be just doing something that's outside the norm. It may feel scary, but I feel like you're moving through that fear, right? You're moving through it and you're going to do it anyway. And this is exciting. This brings you to a higher level of trust as well. Spices showing up here. Cinnamon, isn't that an aphrodisiac? So I feel like this could also spark up some sexual energies. This can be about intimacy as well. And I am getting the word trust here showing up. So there could be something exciting that Spirit is saying, you must trust. Okay, you must trust in this situation. Trust in what's showing up here for you is in your highest good. Now, Taurus, bottom of the deck, you do have the pipe. Okay, smooth transition. So some of you are transitioning into, I feel, a bigger, better opportunity here. There is ascension, there's trust, there's intimacy. Some of you may even be working with Tantra or Kundalini awakening. That's part of the spiritual realization. If you're not familiar with either one of those words, definitely do some research if this is resonating with you. Now, right behind it, yeah, you have the birdhouse, which is safety and security. But I feel like you are transitioning into something more exciting. Okay, we're just going to put that out there. More exciting. Yeah, because some of you, and look at, oh, wow, look at, there's the rock climbing. Okay, so yeah, because some of you have been feeling a little bit stagnant on this long journey. Maybe you've been single for quite some time. Maybe you've been in a relationship for quite some time. Because you have the lasting commitment here, I feel like you're ready to ascend. And I really like this climbing card as well, because this guy's on the side of the mountain, right? He's not just climbing an easy up. He's on the side of the mountain where he's hanging over. So I feel like you're really being guided here, Taurus, to take a leap. And you're going to realize that it actually goes a lot smoother or a lot better than you think. Now, showing up, you have the Knight of Coins. Look at this. You have this Knight of Pentacles is on a motorcycle on this tightrope. So again, we keep seeing this energy here about taking a risk. Opening yourself up. Vulnerability is our greatest strength. And I just said this in Aries reading as well. Maybe some of you have Aries placements or Aries cusp, or maybe you're dealing with an Aries. But so many times we choose to stay in a comfort zone, or we choose to just feel less than happy or exuberant or joyful, because when we open ourselves up to feel excitement and love and, abundance, we could get sucker punched, right? And we don't want to feel that way, especially if we have in the past, if we've had love that's been lost, or if we've had something taken away from us, right? It's painful. And so many times we choose to kind of just sit in, I don't want to say sit in the pain, but sit in something that feels a lot more safe, right? It feels safe if we don't open ourselves up, because then we can't get sucker punched. Then we can't lose what we are vulnerable and open ourselves up to. But what do we lose out on? We lose out on the opportunity to expand to a higher level of love. We lose out on the opportunity for vulnerability and happiness and, love in its fullest form. And I feel like you're being guided here to go out on a limb and have patience with yourself. Be patient maybe with another. Because this knight is the planner. He's the thinker. He is someone who wants to be thorough, right? He wants to get it done. You can see that he's practiced a lot. You don't just go out there on a tightrope on a motorcycle and master it the first time. It takes a lot of times. So some of you may have even been in relationships where you've had to learn lessons over and over and over again, either with the same type of person or with the same person or the same type, right? Or maybe it's the same lesson. But I feel like you have this awakening of, wow, I need to shift how I'm doing things. I need to shift how I respond or shift how I react. Because if you do, what you have here is the Seven of Coins. Even though this is crossing your energy at this time, this is saying the fruits of your labor have the ability to pay off. Instead of in the past, it has felt like diminished returns. It has felt like you've put in all of this mastery, this self-development, this love, and you've been vulnerable, but it hasn't paid off, right? It's part of the human experience, Taurus. And I feel like you have come a long way. Don't shut yourself down right before the magic happens, because you have this golden opportunity. You see the egg here. Even though this is showing up as a challenge for you, there's duality, there's polarity. That's the beauty of Earth. There is the lower frequency or vibration and the higher. It doesn't mean it's right or wrong or good or bad. It's just experiences. And even though in the past you've, put some energy or love or attention or been vulnerable, but something has cracked, right? There's been a crack in some sort of foundation. And I feel like you're being asked to address that crack, or you're being asked to go out on a limb here and open yourself up. And you know that saying, it's better to have loved than lost and never loved at all? I sense that coming up. Maybe some of you have that tattooed, or maybe you see that phrase. Some of you say, Melissa, nope. No, it's not. It's not better to have loved and lost. I would have rather have never met that person, or I would have never had, fell in love, but you have to remember that our soul has contracted to have these experiences, whether for karmic reasons, for evolution, for soul's growth. We come here to Earth to learn. If you wanted some airy, fairy, easy stuff, Earth probably wasn't your planet, right? Seven of Pentacles says, though, that you can have the fruits of your labor pay off when it comes to matters of the heart. But you win some, you lose some. That's part of the game. Now, what's below you, Taurus, is the Strength card. I love this Strength card. I got to tell you, it's probably one of my favorite Strength cards that I've ever seen in tarot, even though it's far-fetched from the typical illustration of the lion and the girl's hand and the lion's mouth, right? Because the Strength energy, Leo, is about self-discipline. It is about taking a look at our shadows, right? And realizing what we're doing at times to self-sabotage. It can be taking a look at our weaknesses. It can be taking a look at even our primal urges, such as sexuality. And so many times, sex is taboo, right? You don't hear a lot around sex or sexual magic, sexual energy. And that may be why I was picking up on Tantra or Kundalini energy. But it's so important because you were created from sex, right? So this is an energy of you really tuning into that intimacy, right? It seems like everything is sex-based in this world, but sex itself, right? So there is this energy here of strength, of vulnerability, of intimacy, of love, of exploration on all levels. And some of you have been wounded in your sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is about 2 inches below your navel. It's our reproductive system, right? For females, it can be, you know, your sexual center. For males, it is creativity. It's our pleasure zone as well. The strength is also associated with the solar plexus. So perhaps you were in relationships where you felt disempowered, right? You felt less than. Maybe you felt like your weaknesses came out or your primal urges. I am getting here with the strength, though. You have questioned your endurance. Do I have what it takes to keep on going? Do I have what it takes to just not give up? Because by all means, sometimes I want to, right? But the Strength card in your foundation, Taurus, says you have everything you need within you to have a sense of unquestioned confidence for who you are, what you stand for, and what you want to achieve in this life. There's nothing that you cannot do when you have strength on your side. And it's so interesting because I see the devil here in your recent past. When the strength and the devil come up together, look at that strength running right towards the devil. There's something you have been guided in this lifetime to remove yourself from, to learn from with the devil. This can be toxic energy, narcissism, manipulation. It can even be sexual or primal pleasures and needs. Some of you feel shame or humiliated possibly, or maybe you have been through some trauma within the sacral chakra. But look at this guy on the Strength card. He has a prosthetic limb, right? He has pushed himself to the point of not letting a limb. I mean, can you imagine, for those of you out there who do have both of your legs and your fingers and your toes and the things that we take for granted, can you imagine not having that piece of you, right? So I feel for some of you, maybe there is a part of you that is ashamed by your shadow or by an experience that has happened or how a situation has brought out your shadow side. And maybe you didn't want to look at that because you were embarrassed by it. Or maybe someone else, right, could represent the devil. This is powerful energy here for you. And instead of embracing some destructive indulgences, I feel in the recent past here, you are fighting through releasing toxic patterns or behaviors. Okay, the devil here, Capricorn energy, can be obsessions, fears, manipulation. It can be codependency. It can be addictions, right? You're reclaiming your power here. And with the Strength, I see that you know what you need to do to either go out on a limb to address the cracks in that foundation. Now, it doesn't matter what your relationship status is, because this has to do with the energies. And what I see showing up for you is, instead of maybe trying to think your emotions, right? Which, what are emotions? What are feelings? They are a consequence or a side effect or a feeling based on a thought, right? So you were thinking things, you were doing a lot of thinking, and it created some sort of intense emotion or feeling behind what you were thinking. But I see here that now you're taking a look at the emotion piece, and you're saying to yourself, well, this is an emotion that I don't want to numb. I don't want to suppress. This is an emotion that is a response from one of my thoughts. But it's important not to let it sit, right? Not to let it lie stagnant or suppress itself in your body, because that's where we create dis-ease. And with this Queen of Swords, I feel like your emotions may be pulling you to stay in a situation that is toxic or destructive, but that's where the strength comes in, because emotions aren't real. I mean, they're real. How do I say that here? Emotions are part of the human experience, but they don't define you. They are a side effect, like I said, from a thought, which sometimes those thoughts are illusions. Sometimes they're false evidence appearing real. They're fear. So some of you, your emotions are pulling you back into a situation where you're being guided to use your intuitive mind. Okay? Queen of Swords here is someone who cuts through the fluff. She knows what she needs to do, what's best for her. And I feel, Taurus, some of you know the same. And that's where you utilize the strength that you have to do what you need to do, even if it requires strength. Because what is the true definition of strength? Being truthful about your emotions. Being truthful about, your own soul's path, right? What are you feeling? What are you thinking? What do you need to express? Are you being honest with yourself? Are you being honest with another person? Okay, your feelings are valid, right? There's no, I'm not calling them invalid here, but you may be pulled to go back to something because your feelings here. And I just see that you are being guided to cut through something, okay? Some of you as well, there's a lot of maybe pent up sexual energy for some of you. Okay. I also see here that it's important for you to explore intimacy, explore trust within self, within other. Okay. Now in the near future, there's the Ace of Swords. This is truth, right? This is breakthrough, which we see. This is spiritual realization. Ace of Swords is a newfound sense of clarity, Taurus. Okay. I'm also hearing the name Rebecca, or Becky or Becca. And I also heard Sarah. Okay. Tomlin could be significant. I'm also getting here Kentucky, Egypt, and Australia. Interesting. A lot coming from this here. I also see here that some of you want the truth of a situation that's been toxic. And I feel like you've been scared to maybe go out on a limb and see some sort of truth, or you've been scared to dig into this strength because it gets to you. Someone could really know your weaknesses, and they may know exactly what to say. They may know exactly what to do, but you're saying, even though I have feelings there, I know where this is going to go. Right? You're thinking it through. I know where this is going to go. I've been there before. Why would I repeat the same thing over and over, expecting different results? We all know what the definition of that is. You have the Eight of Swords, self-doubt. Okay, that can be a root of staying in the devil energy, because we feel like we are stuck, right? We feel like we have the blindfold on. There's a red flag here. Okay, there's a red flag covering her eyes. You're going to see some sort of truth around a red flag, whether this red flag is within yourself, Taurus, or within another. You're going to return to a sense of confidence. When the Eight of Swords shows up, this is about you freeing yourself from maybe an old thought pattern, an old belief, or even some suppressed or stuck emotions. Because again, I'm getting here, emotions and thoughts are really the name of the game here when it comes to you overthinking things or stuck in some sort of loop or spiral. It's time for you to end that loop or that spiral. It's time for you to kind of go in a new path. And that may be why I'm getting it's time to go out on a limb. Whatever that means for you, Taurus. What does that mean? Going out on a limb. It means you're going to return to a sense of confidence. You're going to do what you need to do to take some sort of risk in matters of the heart and getting out of our own way, because this can be the card of self-sabotage. Okay, can be the card of self-sabotage. What's going on in your environment? 9 of coins. Some of you, it's codependency. Okay, maybe some of you are staying in this devil energy because of kids, because of money, because of place to live, because of A, B, or C. And maybe you feel like you have no other choice. For others of you, maybe you are single and you find yourself going out on a limb just to attract people who are shallow. Okay, the devil. Or very sexual. Maybe you have sexual, needs, pleasures, things of that nature. But I feel here with the 9 of coins, some of you are either ready to follow through. Yeah, follow through. You're ready to follow through to have some sort of victory because something in the past has been unfulfilling. Okay, I see that with the strength. I see that here with the 7 of coins. You don't want any more unfulfilled energy. It's almost like you have a box and maybe your box has A, B, and C and you have check, but this box is open. And I see here that no matter what, this situation, the way that you are in it currently, it will never check that box. So you have 2 options. You can either accept that this is where I'm going to be if I stay in this situation, is this 3rd box is never going to be checked. And I may be in love or excited about the illusion of maybe one day that box being checked. And I'm not saying it can't, but it can't in the current energy it exists in. Right? Or some of you are going out on a limb and going in a new direction because you have check that is lined up for you over here. But there's a pull for you to stay in this situation. But it's going to leave you feeling unfulfilled achievement. And that's what I see here, because the energy that is currently manifesting from this is, going out on a limb. And to me, I feel like it's going in this direction, doing something that you haven't done, following through with some sort of truth, inner truth or truth about a situation, instead of it letting it be, clouded thinking, or letting emotions kind of cloud some sort of thinking, or thoughts cloud emotions, one of the two, because they're not aligned. The thoughts and the emotions are tugged in 2 different directions. I'm surprised we don't see the 2 of swords here, but I do see that you've come to some sort of a crossroads within yourself or within a relationship. Now, what's in the hopes and fears? King of Wands, maybe freedom. Freedom from attachment, freedom from the devil, freedom from fears, freedom from codependent dynamics. There's a really great book by Melody Beattie, I think. It's called Codependent No More, if that is something that you have needed to learn in this lifetime. And codependence gets such a rap of, alcohol or drugs, but it's so much more than that as well. So you could definitely take a look at that if it's resonating. King of Wands, you want to be able to rely on yourself, to feel like you have someone that is stable that you can rely on as well, but you want adventure. You want to spice things up. Some of you, it may be as simple as spicing things up in the bedroom. Some of you have some kinks. Okay, you got some of the devil energy coming in here, Taurus. So some of you may be ashamed or humiliated, or maybe you grew up where it was, again, hush, hush. We don't talk about that. Or pleasure isn't something we should focus on. And I feel like you are re-examining how you think about pleasure and intimacy and trust and love. Because the King of Wands, showing up here as your hope, he's very adventurous. He's warm. He is spiritually and passionate and divine. He is someone who, he can look out into the city and it's like the city is his oyster. He has opportunities of abundance and travel and destiny, right? And he's driven and he's very warm, but the fear is overbearing by whatever this devil energy is, just feeling like it consumes you, it takes over. And maybe sometimes not in the healthiest manner or healthiest way. What's your outcome? I don't think I've ever done such an intense sacral Kundalini type of energy reading here, but some of you are being guided to go in that direction. You have the Death card. This is a necessary ending, an ending from an old way of doing things, right? It could be, of course, of a relationship. For others of you, it's an old mindset around pleasure, around intimacy, around trust, around honesty. Because that Queen of Swords with the Ace of Swords, this is a major communication, or it's a major conversation that comes in and puts some sort of transitionary energy into the mix. Because like I said, you want those boxes to be checked, but you know that by going the way that you are now, or the energy that it stays stagnant in, it's not going to amount to the type of return that you want with the Seven of Pentacles. You're doing a relationship autopsy in a sense. Or within yourself, right? It doesn't matter what your relationship status is, but you're really doing some reevaluating, and you're saying what works, what's not. What do I need to take a deeper look into? What could my shadows bring about? Why does this situation end up in sabotage? Am I pulling away? Is this person pulling away? So you are reassessing things, but with the Death showing up as your outcome, there is a necessary ending here. And for some of you, you've resisted the ending because of this Devil pull, because of maybe some sort of emotional pull even though I don't see one Cup card here, right? Interesting. And maybe that's what's lacking is you've suppressed some sort of emotion at times, or perhaps it's needing to open up, right? But I feel like this is what's going to help you open up to love, vulnerability, trust, intimacy, love of all levels. Beautiful energy here. Interesting. There's something quite exciting coming in here. I do see that here for you. It may be that some of you, a person that you, if this resonates with you from the very beginning, if someone is in another relationship, perhaps they've told you that they were going to end something here. But I just see, again, the boxes aren't all checked. Someone could be feeding you some false illusions, and you're getting honest with yourself saying, you know, I need to do what's best for me. If you want to stay in that situation, you can. But if you want more, I feel like you're choosing a different path. For others of you, if you're in a relationship currently and it's long lasting, you may be switching things up a little bit here, whether it's in the bedroom or it is, you know, ending a relationship, however it resonates to you. And for those of you that are single, I feel like there is some sort of realization coming in here, an exploratory energy that can really shift the dynamic of pleasure for you. Okay, what do we have here, please? Between worlds. Wow. So we have, Taurus, Between Worlds, card 3. It's Empress energy. Now, this energy is interesting because it is about transitions. It is literally transitioning, like the Death card. The Death doesn't mean a finality. We don't just, you know, end something and that's it. We alter and we shift and we change into a different energy, a different form, right? Energy can't be destroyed. You cannot be destroyed. A situation here cannot be destroyed. It just changes forms. And it says here, temporary blindness, no man's land, not being quite out of one situation and fully engaged in another. This is a time to explore the new energy between you and another. It is not a moment for certainty, but rather for discovery and curiosity. Yes, exactly what we were saying here. Discovery, curiosity, researching and really taking a look at where you want to go from here. You don't know yet if this will last forever. So allow yourself to explore who you are and what is reflected back to you. This relationship is meant to educate you about yourself. What do you need? What do you like or dislike? What values are important to you? You are in a critical phase of your relationship, even if this is relationship with self. That's important, Taurus. This is not a time to be dismissed or hurried. Okay, that's important. This isn't something to really just make a rash, impulsive decision. That's why you have the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight. He has a plan. He thinks things through. He's not the Knight of Wands who's inconsistent or someone who just impulsively makes a decision and then maybe they deal with the consequences after. No, this is something where you're being guided to really evaluate. And like it says here, take a look at what is reflected to you, even if a relationship reflects some of your own shadows. Even if you don't like yourself, or maybe this is a deep sexual dynamic, or maybe you've had some beliefs around a situation and you thought, I'll never get myself into that pickle, and there you're in the pickle, right? This is a very important time for you in matters of the heart, but be mindful of your expectations, okay? That can be the devil. The devil can bring about expectations that leave us feeling depleted, right? That leave us in the 7 of coins, diminished returns. So it says, be mindful of your expectations. This is not a time for guarantees. Things may not go exactly as you plan or dictate. Let go and see what Spirit has in store. What takes hold in your life will be better than you could have ever imagined. And that's what I'm getting here as well. It's, putting yourself out there on that line, right? Walk the line. Is that Johnny Cash? Walk the line between worlds. All right, Taurus, let's get a few messages from your crystal spirits. And at this time, I just ask if you can, please close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in from the solar plexus chakra, the belly area. And upon your exhale, I want you to tune into your third eye chakra, the area between your eyebrows and your forehead region. And I want you to imagine the first crystal or gemstones that show up in your mind's eye. Now, this could be a specific crystal that could be a favorite of yours. Maybe you know the name of it. Maybe it's showing up as a specific shape, size, or color. Maybe you're not even quite sure of the name, but it's vibrating at a frequency of love, healing, grounding, or guidance. Perhaps it's a crystal that you're currently wearing, or maybe it's within your reach at this time. There is no right or wrong answer, Taurus. And if you need a moment, just pause the video and come back when you are ready. And for those of you that would like to be entered into the free monthly reading giveaway where I draw one winner around the 1st of each month, all you need to do is drop your crystal or gemstone in the comment section below the video, and I personally will enter you into that free reading giveaway. So please make sure you've hit that subscribe and bell button so you don't miss that notification. All right, Taurus, your crystal here is aquamarine, card 7. 7 is a significant number. 7 is the card of spiritual awareness, right? It's wisdom, it's insight, it's reflection. It is a very spiritual energy. And I get that here with you, right? We are spiritual beings. And I feel like you are feeling a little bit pulled at times with the devil to have a grasp on your spiritual awareness and understanding, but yet the 3D. And so many times we get caught up thinking the 3D is bad, that our earthly pleasures are bad, but it's not. Remember, we come from pleasure. We come from sex. So it's important here that you understand that it's okay to find this balance. And that could be that between energy as well, between the light and the dark, the polarity, the duality. That's the gift that we have here on Earth. This is a sense of an enhanced clarity, aquamarine. This is calm discernment, awareness, and acceptance of one's truth. So exactly what we were talking about here with the Queen of Swords and the Ace of Swords. Slow down and look carefully, for there are details that need your time. Remember the red flags? There are details that need your time. This is the message of aquamarine spirit, which can help you to become crystal clear, both in communicating your needs and in understanding those of others. Old patterns may cause you to overlook new information. There it is. Old patterns, right? Old patterns, which we talked about, may cause you to overlook new information, material that could give you important insights into your relationship and assist you in making the right choices. For yourself, trust what you notice. If you're feeling a sense of deja vu when it comes to your relationships, it is the universe calling you to learn the lesson of aquamarine. Be discerning and observant, and you will surely make decisions that are for the highest good of all. Yep, beautiful. I mean, it aligns with exactly what we were talking about. So this crystal, aquamarine, a very beautiful energy. It can assist us in communicating on a frequency of love. So for those of you that are resonating with the heart energy here, right? This can help you open up and communicate on that frequency. Meditating with this stone enables us to soften the edges of our words, teaching us to express ourselves from the heart rather than from strictly what we know. Our belief system, right? Our mind, our brain. This brings a loving vibration to our speech and interestingly allows us to be truly heard as the vibration is felt by those that we are speaking to. This can be a really wonderful stone for the throat chakra, right? For speaking up, communicating our needs, whether they are primal needs, whether they are needs around intimacy and trust. You know, the sexual energy, as you've heard, maybe sex magic, it's not just about that primal part. It's about pleasure in all things, pleasure in life, pleasure within who you are. It doesn't just have to be the physical act, right? So I feel like communicating your needs, whether to yourself or with someone else, is what you're being guided to connect with at this time. It's know thyself type of energy is what we're picking up on here. So this does bring a loving vibration to all, including yourself and to those that you speak with. I'm loving this. Okay, last but not least, what does your soul want you to know? What do you need to know at this time to help you fully open up to the vibration and frequency around love? Okay, what do we need to know? Where can I create more space? Instead of filling yourself up with busy work and things to do, create more sacred space. Yeah, this is that sacred Kundalini energy as well, right? Sacred space in your home, in your schedule, in your mind, in your lungs, Taurus, and in your heart. Take time to just be. Today's soul action. Do a clutter detox of your schedule, home, and innermost self. Make space so clarity can come. Yeah, beautiful. Make some space to just be. Because we're constantly looking for the next high. We're constantly chasing the next achievement, the next goal, the next milestone. So for those of you that have been overthinking or you haven't allowed yourself to stop and feel pleasure, feel happiness or feel joy, it's time for you to know thyself, right? And just be, in order for you to have the clarity to make choices that are in your highest good for not just you, but for everyone around you. That is what I have for you, Taurus. Pretty intense, deep reading. It's not going to resonate with everyone, but if it does resonate with you, please hit that thumbs up button. It certainly helps get the divine channeled messages out there to those that need it most. It certainly helps the channel, which I greatly appreciate. Thank you so much, and please do drop your crystals or gemstones in the comment section below, and be sure to hit that subscribe and bell button. Thank you so much, Taurus. Lots of love. Till next time.